Hello there, Haki. Okay, great to see you advancing through the course so fast. That's fantastic. Keep up that speed of work because the faster we move, the more likely it is that you remember the information. And this way we can dedicate time to learning new stuff rather than me reminding you of old stuff. Let's go. As modern life is constantly changing, it is widely believed that communication among relatives is lessening. Okay, however, I strongly disagree and stated below with examples why this is not the case. Okay, remember um, that there is a copy-paste sentence we can use which would have scored you better, has scored you more points, because it's laced with collocations, the copy-paste one, and also it's relevant. This is empty because you could put this in any essay. The examiner knows that, and it's empty because it's not relevant to any of the paragraphs before or after. It's very generic. However, if we use the copy-paste one and said, this essay will look at these issues using examples from Cambridge and social media to demonstrate points and prove arguments. You see? And it flows much better and it's grammatically perfect and it's really easy to adapt. Let's go. Firstly, one of the most significant reasons why communication between family members is increasing year after year. Here, another opportunity for improvement would be year on year is mobile phones. Okay, but great start. Love it. Straight to the point. This is because since the invention of mobile phones, is there another way we could say mobile phones? Because we've already said it twice. Cell phones, mobile communication, mobile technology maybe. Communication has become easy, affordable and available in the society. So, fantastic. List 1, 2, 3 points for vocabulary. So remember this. I like to see lists. It's a good opportunity for vocabulary, especially if we can say, if we can use topic-specific vocabulary in the list. And well done as well for making it parallel. We'll look at parallelism in later chapters. According to a recent study from Cambridge University, the average number of the average number of messages or the average amount of communication between family members in a day, either by phone calls or small messages in the UK is 3, which used to be once a week 15 years ago. Okay, so here would have been 3, I don't know what, 3 potatoes. Okay, so what we should say is in the UK is 3 times a week, comma. 15 years ago, this was 1. This was just once. Okay, we've communicated the same, but it's become crystal clear because if we don't mention the units here, I have to wait here until I know what you're talking about here. You see, and this creates a reader strain. So just bear that in mind the next time. But I love this paragraph. It's crystal clear. It's well communicated. And it's perfectly structured. So well done there, Haki. Keep on writing like this. Consequently, even if it is said that communication is breaking down, it is a misconception and very obvious that it is drastically increasing. Good. What could we use instead of very? Clearly obvious. Or it is undoubtedly obvious. Okay, so these are improvements, not corrections, and that's the way I like to work. Secondly, another very crucial factor which makes communication affordable is the internet. The internet. This is due to the fact that the internet, or in this case because we've just mentioned it already, we can say this is due to the fact that it has reduced communication costs to almost free of charge. Take for example Facebook, Twitter, WhatsApp, and name it. I don't know what name it is, but we could have just done a sweet list like we did here. It said Facebook, Twitter, and WhatsApp. These applications attract society to update each and every step one takes in daily routines. In other words, people communicate frequently during even working hours. Correct. Furthermore, it's the internet has forced telecom companies to reduce the cost as minimum as possible. Okay. As a result, if the internet were not invented, people would still be struggling to communicate with each other, but it is no longer the case. No longer the case. Good, very good. So that's fine actually. Seems to maybe we could have deleted this furthermore sentence, but it's a good start. Very good essay. Very good body paragraph. Keep writing like this, the sentence guide, and I'll keep giving you tips to improve certain parts. Okay, so you're on the right track. In conclusion, although many people think that communication is no longer frequent between relatives as it used to be in the past, I disagree and believe that it is increasingly unbelievably. No, that is increasing drastically would be better there. Okay, fantastic start, Haki. I'm more than impressed. It's going to be good working with you. It has been widely believed that doing interesting activities with children can improve their skills and imagination rather than merely reading. I strongly, not totally, agree and stated below by giving examples from Cambridge and World Football Organization why it is the case. Once again, same issue as before. We could have made it much more academic by avoiding these personal pronouns, okay, and this conversational tone. So let's see that sentence in the next essay. Firstly, despite the fact that reading has a tremendous effect on the development of a child's skill, put an article there, a child's skills, there are some other skills that can be developed by other means, such as playing on games consoles. This is because playing with games consoles, once again, same issue as before. Repetition. So we've got other, okay. Games consoles. Skills. So take your time looking at thesaurus, okay, and abilities we could have said. So just look for these alternatives and let's try and test and use them in these essays that you're writing with me, okay? This is because playing with games consoles can develop. Okay, so this is because engaging a child in with these electronic devices can develop their reflexive and cognitive skills that cannot be developed by reading alone. Can you see? I used there to avoid saying child again, or child's. There's a recent study by Cambridge has shown that children who play smart farm games on smartphones. Okay, so let's see. It would have been better just to said who play virtual farm or who play virtual farm games on smartphones perform 32% better than their it's not compatriots, than their colleagues maybe, or than their counterparts. That's the word I wanted. Mental mathematic tests. Here the usual phrase is mental arithmetic tests. Okay. As a consequence, playing with games consoles is an advantage for improving children's skills, which is impossible to develop just by reading, which are impossible to develop just by reading. So this one needs to be worked quite a bit because, as you can see, we've got a bit more repetition. Sometimes we're missing the article, so be careful there. A good way to avoid these issues is to just transform it into plural, okay? And then if we need to mention them, yeah, plus you've mentioned it in plural here, so let's just keep it plural all the way through for simplicity, okay? Secondly, another one of the most effective and enjoyable activities which develops children's skills is sports. This is due to the fact that doing sporting activities such as playing football and swimming, okay, such as playing football, rugby, and swimming, or maybe just badminton, because then it goes well with playing rugby, playing football, rugby, or cricket, develops cooperativeness and competitiveness. Take for example, according to World, we can't have both of these. So take for example a recent study by the World Football Organization. Okay, so take for example, or let's just say according to World Football Organization, children who play football 2 hours a week are more disciplined and more successful than their classmates. Therefore, sporting activities have tremendous advantages regarding children's skills development, which is impossible only by reading. Okay, we don't need to keep reaffirming this, but we could just say regarding tremendous advantages regarding children's skills. Full stop. That would have been better, because regarding children's skills development doesn't work too good. To conclude, although reading has a significant impact on the development, how many times have we used the word development in this essay? So once again, get that thesaurus out and let's start enriching our vocabulary. So has a significant impact on a child's development. I personally believe that playing with games, consoles, and engaging in sporting activities or competing in sporting activities have more undoubtedly bestow more advantages. Okay, so there's a very useful phrase I just gave you there. Let's see if you can squeeze that into the next essay as well. Okay, so Haki, you're doing great. What I want you to do now is implement all the corrections you've heard on the video. Then make a list of the mistakes, and then send me the work, all the corrected essays and your error list, and send me your 2 new essays as well. And when you send me your new essays, make sure that they're between 250 260 words, and also make sure you've checked them for mistakes that you've made previously. Okay, have a fantastic day. Send me all that back in one email, and we're cooking with gas, as we say in the UK. All the best, buddy.